Cyber policy is like a country's rulebook for the digital world. It covers everything from protecting our computers and information to how we act online. Politics play a huge role in shaping these rules. Just like any other policy area, decisions about cyber policy are influenced by political priorities, party stances, and even individual leaders. Understanding this intersection is crucial. Why? Because these decisions have real-world consequences. They determine how we fight cybercrime, protect our critical infrastructure, and even how we interact with other countries in the digital age. In a world where technology is always evolving and cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated, the relationship between politics and cyber policy is more important than ever. It's a complex relationship, but one that we need to understand to navigate the digital future safely and securely. Political decisions have a direct impact on how cyber policy is shaped. Governments around the world are grappling with how to regulate the digital space, protect their citizens from cyber attacks, and promote cybersecurity within their borders. One of the most obvious ways politics influence cyber policy is through legislation. Laws are passed that dictate how data is collected and used, what constitutes cybercrime, and how cyber attacks are investigated and prosecuted. For example, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, is a prime example of how political decisions can have a far-reaching impact on data privacy and cybersecurity. Funding is another critical area where politics come into play. Governments decide how much money to allocate to cybersecurity initiatives, such as developing new technologies, strengthening critical infrastructure, and supporting research and development. These funding decisions reflect the priorities of those in power and can significantly impact a nation's cyber defenses. Politics also shapes the regulatory landscape for businesses operating in the digital realm. Governments set standards for cybersecurity practices, data protection, and incident reporting. These regulations can vary significantly from country to country, creating a complex web of compliance challenges for international companies. Different political leaders often have contrasting approaches to cyber policy, reflecting their ideologies and priorities. These differences can manifest in various ways, from the overall focus of their cyber strategies to the specific policies they implement. For instance, during his presidency, Donald Trump prioritized a strong national defense posture in cyberspace, focusing on deterring adversaries and responding forcefully to cyber attacks. His administration emphasized the modernization of government IT systems and took a hard line against countries like China and Iran, accusing them of malicious cyber activities. In contrast, Vice President Kamala Harris has spoken about the need for greater international cooperation on cybersecurity issues. She has advocated for holding malicious actors accountable, regardless of their nationality, and emphasized the importance of working with allies to address shared cyber threats. Harris has also highlighted the need to address the root causes of cybercrime, such as poverty and lack of opportunity. These differing approaches highlight how political ideologies can translate into concrete policy decisions with real-world implications. The emphasis on deterrence versus cooperation, the focus on domestic cybersecurity versus international engagement, and the approach to attribution and retaliation are all areas where political differences can significantly shape cyber policy. In today's interconnected world, cyber threats do not respect national borders. Cyber attacks can originate from anywhere, target anyone, and have ripple effects that extend far beyond the initial victims. This reality makes international relations a critical aspect of cyber policy. Countries must cooperate to share information about threats, develop international norms of behavior in cyberspace, and coordinate responses to cyber attacks. However, political tensions and mistrust can often hinder these efforts. For example, the ongoing geopolitical rivalry between the United States and China has spilled over into the cyber realm, with accusations of espionage, intellectual property theft, and election interference. The rise of cyber warfare as a potential domain of conflict adds another layer of complexity. Nations are developing offensive cyber capabilities, raising concerns about the potential for escalation and the blurring of lines between peace and war. In this context, diplomacy, deterrence, and the development of clear rules of engagement in cyberspace are essential to prevent misunderstandings and mitigate the risk of conflict.